morning, everyone. I hope you all had a very restful and relaxing and fun vacation. It was really wonderful. I think that the weather right now is just really spectacular and it's a great time to be outside. So spend as much time as you can because it's about to get hot. Okay, so back to art. This week, we are going to be working on sculpture. So I want you to take out all of your paper scraps, your cardboard, your yarn, your paper like tube, paper towel or paper toilet tube holders. Anything that you have lying around is going to work for this week, as long as you're creative and you're wanting to have some fun. Oh, also markers, glue, and you're going to need scissors. All right, so I will meet you at the Elmo camera and let's get started. All right, so let's first talk about what sculpture is. It is the art of making 2 or 3 dimensional representative or abstract forms, especially by carving stone or wood or by casting metal or plaster. So the 2 things that we're going to concentrate right now on is what representative means or abstract. So representative sculpture, if I can go on to that, it looks like this. So this right here looks like a lion. And this you can very definitely see is a lion. It is a very large lion. It is probably outside of, it looks like a pretty important building. It could be a museum or it could even be a hotel. But it may be something that you might see on vacation, but you can definitely tell that it is a lion. And this looks like it's been sculpted out of rock, out of marble. So it's a very beautiful sculpture. This one is smaller, but it is definitely still representative. So that means that it represents what it really is in real life. So there was a person who probably posed for this sculpture, and then the artist took the, looks like it might be bronze, they took the material and they made it to represent this person. Now, abstract is a little bit different. Abstract is more related to feeling. It is also related to the loose representation. So this right here is a sculpture, possibly, more than likely, of a person, but you can't tell what the person really looks like. You can just get the feeling that this is a person. So this is the head right here, and these are the arms, and these are the legs. But maybe if you were to walk around the sculpture in another way, you might see something completely different. And that's what our abstract art is all about. And I wanted to include a picture of this because this is something that we've seen a lot in Saudi Arabia. These are the sculptures that are representative or conveyed in countries like Saudi Arabia. This one actually comes from India, and this gives you a feeling. So look at this piece of artwork and think to yourself, how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel light and airy? Does it remind you of water? Does it remind you of clouds? Does it remind you of ice cream? What is the feeling that this gives? And that is what abstract art is all about. Okay, so now for this week, you are going to be making, I would say, more of an abstract representational piece of art. So what we're going to do is we're going to take pieces of cardboard, paper scraps, and we're going to make them into a sculpture. So I want to give you some quick examples. So this one is done with cardboard, and these are all boxes that have been cut up and shaped and then stacked on top of each other to make that. And then this is a heart, and they just put some different pieces of cardboard and then they painted that heart. Okay, this one is probably a little bit older than your grade level. I would probably say this is maybe 5th grade, 6th grade, but they did a really good job with the different pieces of materials, and they painted them and they inserted them into each other to make their sculpture. And then this last one, I wanted to go ahead and show you. They use the base, a piece of clay, and this definitely looks like a toothbrush, or not a toothbrush, a paintbrush. And they put cardboard tubes, they put pieces of cardboard. I would say that if you're going to do something like this, please try to paint it or try to decorate it with markers. This looks like it's in the beginning phase of development. This does not look like it would be your final piece. All right, so that gives you some information or some samples of what you are going to be doing today. Okay, so this is when we start having some fun. We are going to be taking our box of fun materials, all of our scrap paper. I've got a piece of cardboard to use as my base. You don't have to do that as your base if you don't want to. Like if you saw that clay, if you've got clay and you want to stick a skewer into that clay, you can. I'm going to use a piece of cardboard. I just got a shipment from Amazon, so I cut that out. I also have scraps of paper. I took a piece of copy paper and I made a bunch of line patterns on it, and then I cut them out. I also took a piece of scrap paper that didn't quite work on here and I cut it out. So I'm going to see what happens. So the main rule that I have, when you attach things, you want to hold them down for a certain time. Usually I do about 10, let's count to 10. So I'm going to put my glue down in my spots. Now remember, we're not putting things down flat because that is just going to be two-dimensional. Two-dimensional is when you're looking at the height, the length, I'm sorry, you're looking at the length and then you're looking at the width. Right now we're trying to make things pop up off of the paper. So to do that, I'm going to glue down and I'm going to hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now that I've glued that down, hopefully you can see I have a little bit of a tunnel. I'm wanting my things to pop up. So I'm going to take another piece of paper and I think I might glue it down right over here. And I don't know if this paper is long enough, but sometimes I like to loop things around. So see how I'm trying to loop? All of a sudden I created a loopy-loop. That's coming down that way. I'm going to hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now I cut these strips. I was not having very good luck with this piece because it's pretty stiff. So my big pieces of cardboard just weren't sticking. So I cut them down and all I did was I folded my paper and I'm going to glue them down just like this so they end up sticking up off of the paper. Just like that. And I'm going to hold those down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, now I just thought of another idea. I think this might work. I could probably take this, I'm stringing it through, and then it might be better to staple it or tape it, but I'll see if the glue works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it did. All right, so now I've got that through here. Ooh, that's kind of cool. So I'm going to take maybe my paper towel holder tube. I might cut something out. I might put it on here. I have so many different materials. I've got some yarn. I'm thinking what might be kind of neat is, since I've got this thing, I can make something where, unfortunately, since I have my elbow camera, can't quite see it, but I can hang this from the ceiling and then this will come down. So that might be kind of neat. So this is what your cardboard sculpture is all about. You're taking pieces of paper, you're taking scraps of material, you're taking paper and you're making decorations on them. And I want you to try to make something that comes up off of your base and just have fun with it. See what happens. Get creative. All right, that is your assignment for this week. Have a great time creating.